Hi guys, my name's Jonathan Haling and welcome to Glen Eira Council's first passive house. As you can see, it's still in construction, and what I've done is partnered with Glen Eira Council to take you on a tour. We'll also have the passive house designer Cam Munro here to have a few comments.
The Passive House Standard is a voluntary building standard that sets very high expectations on thermal comfort and health of buildings, and in so doing produces a building that has very low energy consumption. The building standard is based on 5 key fundamentals: lots of insulation, continuous insulation, removing all thermal bridges, mechanical ventilation to provide continuous fresh air, high performance windows, and air tightness. The building standard uses very detailed thermal modelling so that we really can predict very accurately what a building is going to consume in terms of energy to maintain a very stable temperature both in summer and in winter.
So another important factor of passive house is high performance windows. Here we have a tilt and slide door which is triple glazed. Now this is a large window and it provides great thermal comfort year in, year out. As you can see, it's quite a hefty manoeuvre, but it protects the seals by lifting up off the seals and sliding along a set of wheels. So one of the key design criteria we wanted for our outdoor living space was a covered outdoor area that we could entertain, but also use it to have solar access into the building. So we went for an option of a mechanical louver, which allows us to adjust the light and solar gain inside, but also allows us to have an entertaining area that's covered or sunny depending on the weather.
A passive house in Melbourne has around about twice as much insulation as the code minimum requirement. I have here 2 examples of the standard sorts of insulations we'd often use, just as much as they're often used in conventional homes as well. On my right here we have the yellow material, which is a glass wool bat, and in my other hand here is a polyester bat. Both of these can work fine for wall and roof constructions. One of the other features of passive house is the extreme attention to air tightness. So a passive house is around about 30 times more airtight than a conventional new built home. In a passive house, one of the usual ways in which we ensure that very high level of air tightness is to essentially wrap the building in a membrane, like you can see here. This is a plastic material, and then at all of the joints we use a special tape to ensure complete tightness. We close off all penetrations and we seal at the windows and doors. Above me you can see the vent for the mechanical ventilation system. The mechanical ventilation system provides continuous fresh air into every room in the home, 24/7. The advantage of this system is that it allows you to maintain that very high indoor air quality, irrespective of the outdoor air temperature. So in a conventional home, you may have to be opening your windows in the middle of winter to get fresh air, but very cold air into your home. The other advantage of the mechanical ventilation system is providing filtered air. So for example, if you may have allergies during the spring, the air that's coming into the home is first being filtered at the mechanical ventilation unit before being distributed into the home. So this is the mechanical ventilation unit that, as I mentioned, feeds fresh air into all of the rooms in the house. You leave this unit on all the time. It consumes about 30 watts, which is less than an old school light bulb, so really it's close to nothing. And what it's doing is providing continuous fresh air. So we're bringing in fresh air from outside, which in the middle of winter may be at about 5 degrees. And we return air from our wet spaces, the kitchen, the toilets, the laundry, which might be at 20 degrees, but relatively humid and stale. And those 2 air pathways cross one another in the heat recovery core in the middle of the unit here. The 2 airflows don't mix, but they pass. And when they pass, the heat from the outgoing stale air transfers to the incoming cold air. And in so doing, that incoming cold air, which was 5 degrees, is now heated up to 20 degrees. And then that warm, fresh air is fed into all of the living spaces. And when we bring in that outside air, it passes through a filter. And you can see an example of the filter here. And you can see also that when new, these filters are white, but they gradually go black as they pick up all the dust, pollen, and particulates from outside.
One of the other key requirements for Passive House is to have all electric kitchen appliances. So we've got electric oven and induction cooktop. I see the electric or induction cooktop as far superior to gas, being the time it takes to heat up and also the temperature control you have whilst cooking. We've also installed LED lights throughout. That is also another sustainable feature.
So this is the hot water tank for the house. There's a couple of distinctive features about this system. One, it's powered by a heat pump, and the heat pump is above me on the wall here. The heat pump differs to your gas hot water unit, for example, in that you're not creating heat by burning a substance. Rather, we're extracting heat from the air around us. And even in the middle of winter, when it might be close to 0 degrees, there's still an awful lot of heat energy in that air. And so a heat pump is exceptionally efficient. You can put 1 unit of power into the heat pump and you can extract about 4 units of heat out. And in so doing, you then, in this case, being an air to water heat pump, you put that heat energy into the tank that you can see here. And the way Jonathan has got this set up at this house is that he has it on a timer up here, which sets it to run during the middle of the day. And that coincides when the sun is up and the solar panels are generating most electricity. And so by running in the middle of the day, this is really operating like a battery. It's storing that solar energy for use in the evenings and the following morning before turning on to run again around lunchtime the following day. And the system is exceptionally efficient by consuming only around 2 kilowatt hours a day. The other aspect to consider about a hot water unit, be it a heat pump or any other hot water unit, is to ensure that all of the pipe work is very well insulated. And you can see an example of that here, where all the pipe work connecting to the tank is exceptionally well protected from the ambient air.
So one of the other key design criteria was about enhancing natural light. So where possible, we've got large north-facing windows, which allows solar heat to be brought in during winter and shaded during summer. We've also maximised light in areas where windows can't be installed using skylights, and these have also got blinds and are operable to allow ventilation. Another sustainable feature is ceiling fans through all the bedrooms, and this basically buys you 2 degrees during those summer months and keeps you cool. So since we've started this project, we've purchased an EV. We've also got 12 kilowatts of solar panels on the roof. This has allowed us to install a smart charger, which allows us to select when we want to charge, and it means that we can use green energy to charge the car.
One of the key differentiators of Passive House is the quality assurance. So the modelling has to be verified by an independent certifier, and we test things like the air tightness at least twice during construction. And we do that using a blower door test. The first blower door test happens before the plasterboard goes on, so that we've got access to the membrane so that we can fix up any leaks that we might have missed the first time round. The final blower door test occurs at completion of the project, which is really a verification check to ensure that nothing has gone wrong in the meantime, and we provide that blower door test result to the certifier to verify that the building has achieved Passive House levels of air tightness.
So I hope this tour today has provided some inspiration for you all out there to consider sustainability and passive house in your next project.